You may not remember this, but prankster par excellence Andy Kaufman once had breakfast with professional wrestler Freddie Blassie and filmed the whole thing, turning it into a cult film of sorts. My Breakfast with Blassie opens with Kaufman attending the premiere of the film, dressed up like Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, and you're already in typically bizarre territory. Then we cut to him taking the bus to a cafe where he meets Blassie and they have breakfast. Of course, this being an Andy Kaufman film, you can expect the entire thing to be a unique piece of performance art to a certain extent, as the breakfast slowly but surely goes awry when Kaufman decides to get into arguments with the women sitting at the next table before hitting on one of them and ultimately having one guy throw up all over the breakfast table.
God damn, what a geek.
What an idiot.
The latter character being played by the comedian's right-hand man, Bob Zmuda. The idea of Andy Kaufman making a parody of My Dinner with Andre is already funny, but the film still delivers and quickly proves to be a must for fans of the iconic comedian. The conversation Kaufman has with Blassie goes weird places, to say the least.
You know, there was a leak in my house, so I couldn't take a shower, I couldn't do anything.
You're kidding.
No.
And the former clearly has a great time, almost breaking character near the very end, playing the obnoxious guy like he used to do when wrestling women. You're never quite sure whether Blassie is fully in on a joke or not, or if any of what they say was scripted or at least figured out beforehand, but that only adds to the fun, as Kaufman always enjoyed making the audience wonder about whether something was real or not.
And you say hello, they say hello, are you Andy Kaufman? Yes, hi, how are you?
This isn't so much a review as it is a recommendation. If you enjoy Andy Kaufman's particular brand of humor and you know the history of what led to this offbeat meetup, then you'll likely love My Breakfast with Blassie. Trolling at its finest.
Trolling at its finest. Trolling at its finest.